Where Winds Meet came in as a promising, huge open world experience, flashy combat, an expansive story, and it's all free from the great lands of China. And it's also on mobile. Any gamer who's worth their weight in bread would have had about 7 red flags pop up there. Is Where Winds Meet the game that's going to defy expectations and really explode? Let's find out. This is Where Winds Meet. Don't go away. Where Winds Meet. It honestly had a lot of hype, enough hype that I wanted to play it off release day. And I did. With a little hiatus to play Unbeatable in between, I played about 20 hours of this game. I originally planned to play co-op, and it didn't happen because apparently you can't do co-op on the main missions, which is kind of what I was here for. So I just went in as a solo. And of course, the number one question I had coming into Where Winds Meet was, is this gonna feel like a free-to-play mobile game? Because that's what it is, and it feels like it. It really does, but only in some parts. In fact, I would say that Where Winds Meet is either living in the trenches or living at the peaks. There are tons of moments here in which you really say to yourself, how the hell was this free? Like, they obviously put budget into this. And then at the extreme opposite end, there are scenes like this that really make you realize, oh, okay, so there definitely isn't going to be that sort of quality throughout this whole game. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. 2 side missions. One of them, fantastic. You start by draining this whole waterway, right? You enter the cave and you're in exploration for this one chick you're trying to find. You find her, but she's like frozen solid. There's a bit of a riddle and you explore where she lived and you're reading these interesting notes and you find the item and you get to choose which item you use to unfreeze her, which one really is the correct to this riddle. You go to do that and you get this beautiful cutscene.
Where did you find this flower?
Again, how the hell is this game free? Like, I just downloaded this game for free, $0. But then you have other side quests like this. This quote-unquote ugly lady was tormented by children. Well, she ends up kidnapping the children and bringing them to this waterfall, knocking them out, and she was going to use a spell to make them as ugly as her as a lesson, I guess. Well, she ends up dying by your hand. This is how that cutscene went. If that isn't the most abrupt difference between one mission to another in terms of quality, I don't know what to say. But what else do we have in Where Winds Meet? Well, actually, what don't we have? No, seriously, name it. What don't we have? You can do anything. I counted at least 12 to, hell, maybe even more, 15, 20 mini games. Think of a mini game and it's probably in this one. Here's one. There's a riddle that you can do and use your voice to try and solve it.
We're the largest grain merchants in Kaifeng.
Here, these are the last 2 pieces of Algaman candy.
Hey there! Interested in some spices? Just take a look at our boss. You can tell our stuff is the real deal.
That is not your voice. Select the riddle. Clue bites. What bites? Mosquito. 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 That's gotta be it. Wow! First guess! Exploring the open world, every 12 to 15 seconds you're walking somewhere, you will find something. Whether it's bears trying to attack you out in the wild, glowing butterflies that will lead you back to treasure, puzzles galore, random enemy encampments, enemy bases, chests surrounded by snakes. this cat that pops up everywhere that'll give you time trial runs, and the cat is also a double for puzzles as well. And of course you have NPCs powered by AI that you can talk to. Now, listen, this is a very interesting subject. Before AI really took hold, like in these last couple of years, I've, honest to God, always thought, wow, one day when AI is so strong, you could probably just straight up go and talk to people, and you won't even need to write lines of dialogue because the game will naturally do it for you through the use of AI. This was the first game that put that to the test, and I think that it is still in its early stages. You want to see what a normal conversation with an AI chatbot is here in Where Winds Meet? Honestly, I have like 2 examples, but here's one of them. I think you're really cool. This is a strength and wisdom one, right? No, I haven't faced a mountain fiend. Do you know where I could find one? His wounds clear enough. Did you ever occur the thought that I am much stronger than you in every single scenario that is humanly possible? To me, this is kind of like, oh, that's interesting. And then it fizzles out. Like, as soon as you're done talking to him, like, okay, well, that doesn't really matter. That wasn't really cool. The thing that bothered me more is how easy it was to tell where AI voice-generated stuff was. Like, I get it. I got this game for free, and there are like hundreds of NPCs to voice. Not only that, it's a game from China, so you need to translate it all and then voice it. So, okay, they enlisted some help from AI. But it is so jarring to hear normal voice actors and all of a sudden AI one pop in. I even have a clip with a normal voice actor and then all of a sudden the rest of the lines were done by AI. Try to listen to the moment it switches to AI here.
Pear Blossom. Hey, young master, what brings you here? Uncle
Fuck, I want the
Joe's in a
Chat
rush to
GPT
brew
box.
the next batch of parting tears. I'm still learning. Every step in making parting tears. First, we use wind catchers.
First, I dry the flower petals, then grind them into pear blossom powder and mix it into the yeast.
Did I
Once
just
I send
literally
it over
listen
Uncle
to...
Joe and the brewing's done.
I
After 3
actually
rounds
saw
of
that was a
soaking
real
and
voice
straining,
actor and
then
it literally
parting
swapped
tears
in
is
real
finally
time to
ready.
AI. Now, one of the flashiest subjects of the trailers has been the combat. Personally, for me, it's okay. It's totally average. And I have a very, very good reason for that, and I can explain this very well, I think. So typically, games that I've played that have some sort of action mechanic with swords and stuff divert into 2 categories. Straight up, raw action, flashy moves, kind of like Devil May Cry, or hell, even Nier Automata. Those games have very fun combat. Very good combos, very cool moves. It's button spammy, and it's kind of designed to do that. And then you have the other category of swordplay, in which I would call the cold and calculated intentional swordplay. I recently played Wuchang Fallen Feathers, and every move I made in that game was made with intention. Strategically thinking out scenarios in game, feeling the weight of your weapon and the crushing intention of killing from the enemies that you face. Here in Where Winds Meet, I think it's taking a piece of both sides. It's kind of... I needed it to sit on one of the sides, really. I felt like it was button spammy enough that I could try to just button spam my way through guys, but I never really felt like combat was overly fun here. I never felt the weight of the weapon. I never felt that rush of parrying multiple moves. The slow-mo that you get when you do a perfect dodge is nice, but I never felt like I could really capitalize on a perfect dodge like I can in other games. I never felt underpowered in this game. Like, I didn't get stomped or anything. It was okay. It was kind of like mindless killing for me. The best thing about combat was the moves you could unlock. There are honestly some really cool moves that are just like absolutely out of the box design goofiness kind of honestly. Like there's my favorite move in the game was like this Tai Chi move in which you just like tango with a guy and then you throw him whichever way direction your camera's facing. This works for any sized enemy, including grizzly bears. Yes, that is true. 1v1. You ain't ready! What I'm about to mention next is probably the unsung hero of biggest ass design in this game, the upgrade mechanics.
Bad. It was bad.
The current system here is so bad for upgrade materials that I either constantly had not enough materials or I had a seemingly infinite amount of resources to upgrade. Alright, just went to max because I have infinite money in this game. This is literally the picture perfect way to not do a skill tree. It is linear.
Ew.
It goes from left to right and you literally have no choice. So I think if I maybe spent like more 100 hours in here or something, I could really appreciate how, I guess, in depth this system is. But to me, this was a absolutely horrible system. The whole gear system, everything about the upgrade system and weaponry was ass. That features literally such useless, non-noticeable upgrades like this. Oh my god, I hate this game. 0.6% lower defense. No one's gonna notice that. But obviously this game had to do something right? Yes. Here's the two best things Where Winds Meet does. Exploration and world design. This is the kind of game that you spend 4 hours walking around in and you thought it was like 20 minutes. You're like, oh wait, I spent 4 hours walking around and I made 0 progress. The world design is so clean. I literally mean it when I say, and I mean like walking around 4 hours and like admiring what you're walking around in. The kind of world design that I literally, once again, asked myself the question of, how the hell is this game free? Like multiple times I asked myself that question when exploring. Music as well. Surprisingly, a huge abundance. I did not expect this at all for a free game. Good menu music, good in-game music, good combat music. I've said this since day one of my channel, but ambient music, just walking around, a robust amount of soundtracks really helps a game out.
Han, are you alright? Yidao mentioned Chu Xingchuan. Who is he? And what's this Blackwater City they spoke of?
Unfortunately, that's kind of where I stop praising this game on its presentation, because who designed the menus and UI in this game? Seriously. Every game I've ever played in my life doesn't come close to how horrible it is here. A absurd, ridiculous, almost comedic amount of menus in this game. And the UI, what I'm about to show you is genuinely not Photoshop. This is live footage of what your game will look like. The worst part about it is that there is a hide UI option here. Wow, that's amazing. It hides all of it. Well, I kind of want the mini map up and maybe my health and stamina bar and maybe my bottom right, weapons or something. Just get rid of the 90% of absolute garbage I don't need and keep the map. Why isn't that an option? Not only that, the UI is so bad in so many ways. Like Skate, your stamina bar is a very important piece of combat. But in contrast to everything else that is static on your screen, it is so small. So many times in combat, I'm running around, I'm like, oh, wait, why can't I jump? Oh, my stamina bar is like completely out. It's hard to see in the action and flair of combat. Why is the stamina bar so tiny compared to all the most other useless ass shit? Overall impact. If you've made it this far, this is the part where I shock you by saying I recommend this game.
Wait, what?
For one simple reason. This game is not for me, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I think it's also important to go into this game with the right mindset, realizing that it is a free-to-play game that is also on mobile. That comes with baggage. Come into this game thinking of it in a most unserious way possible. I think there's a genuine goofy vein hidden in this game. And that's really important because there are two types of bad games. Bad games that are boring, like Outlast Trials I recently played, and bad games that are bad but are funny because of it. And even though I can say I don't personally like this game, I genuinely just laughed the whole way through this game. I have a ridiculous amount of clips.
Holy
Is she
shit.
hiding something from me?
I'm stuck inside him. What is this bullshit?
Swear to spare this man first.
Him? You... The coward. Go kill that horse by the wall. The
What?
one drinking.
This horse is jacked.
Horse! After him!
Hey! Looks like they're heading for the wine cellar.
What?
That move! Move!
What? That move? The T-pose? The T-pose move? Oh my god, the chicken just got locked. My closing statement here on Where Winds Meet. Where Winds Meet, for my taste, is much too unstructured of a game. There are way too many cooks in this kitchen, and it's a big kitchen. It's a huge kitchen, and it has a lot of cooks. But with this ginormous kitchen comes a ginormous sandbox. A sandbox with the player in the middle with completely free will. Yeah, this is quite plainly a not for me kind of game, but if someone came to me and said, hey, man, this year, 2025, Where Winds Meet, I played 200 hours of it, I've got all the sickest suits, I've explored so much of the world, I loved it. I would say, yeah, I can see why. So just because I'm not giving this game a high rating, maybe check it out yourself and just don't completely throw it aside. I think it's worth a little more than what I'm about to give it. Because Where Winds Meet, for me, is a 5.5 out of 10. So that's it. I have finally caught up on my 2025 releases. What's next? I am actually going to do my own Game of the Year video. I played like 8 or 9 releases this year. And then I'll probably have an end of year review or something like that video. After that, I'm focusing on my backlog for a couple months, honestly, until Resident Evil 9 comes out. What's on my backlog? A lot. Let's see how far I can get through it until RE9 releases. For now, I'm your host, Beneath the Mask. LPG's Review. Peace out. I know you're here to find out the Easter egg soundtrack that I put in at the end of every video, but did you know that I have a Buy Me a Coffee page? A page where you can donate to your favorite YouTube creator. Half of the money that's donated to that page is personally donated back to Child's Play Charity, a charity that's dedicated to supplying games and technology to children in hospitals around the world. So that's that. Did you guess the soundtrack?